Hey guys, and welcome to Tanashi's Movie Corner. So I just got done watching season 2 of Rebels recently, and before you start, hear me out. I know season 2 it aired a while back, and we are now on season 3 already. And it's like, but Tanashi, you're a Star Wars fan. What are you doing? How could you wait so long? I like doing a marathon format if I can. Some things don't work out that way, but for the best quality, I generally like watching it in a marathon format, and usually after I've bought it in some cases. And that's what I got here. I bought season 2. I had season 1, so I went and bought season 2. Didn't know if it'd be any good. Had my problems with season 1. So let's right out the gate. Was this any good? The answer is yes, actually. I really enjoyed this season. I thought this season was much improved from season 1. I think it improved a lot. For example, you got, some character-centric stories and everything, but they didn't feel like they were forced in there, pun intended. They felt natural. They felt like they were occurring naturally. Their relationships, you already had them established, so you just dwelled deeper into some of them. You got Ahsoka, that we know from season 1, was in this, and while she wasn't as present as I would have liked, being that she is a personal favorite of mine, it was interesting to see her in season 2 and see her deal with the aspect of Vader, and what does she know, what doesn't she know, how things were left off, which was really curious because it hinted, and this is a little minor thing, it hinted that what we saw in Clone Wars was not the last time that Anakin and Ahsoka have been together, have seen each other. So that was interesting. And of course there's an Ahsoka book coming out next year, so all that working with it, how that plays out. We have Ezra, our main character, and what he's kind of dealing with, what he's going through, because he's still young, he's still training, and obviously there's stuff that's going to try to influence him one way or the other. There's things that are going to happen. So we get some nice stuff with that, and then we see season 2 actually has Kanan really come into his own as a Jedi, and we see his arc kind of, I wouldn't say complete, but we see it really progress now from where he started. So all this had a bunch of character growth, and it had some interesting characters come into it. I'll try not to give away too much on there, aside from what we've already know. You get, with this one, with the Inquisitor, the Grand Inquisitor now gone, we have these other Inquisitors that come into play. Vader comes into play. We got some cameos. We got some appearances from characters that we know from other things, and so I think the action worked better. The pacing worked a lot better. I actually wasn't disappointed, even the quote-unquote filler episodes, because there's some that you might consider filler, but even those episodes actually worked for me. I had a lot of fun with this season. This season is what I wanted. This season is what maybe it was my expectations, but people were praising the first season so much so that I thought it was going to be a much better season than what it ended up being. And it wasn't bad, but it definitely could have been improved upon, and I think this served it well. I think it built upon the first season, but it expanded the lore of Star Wars, and did so in a way that it felt like a direct continuation. It felt like it belonged here. And so it left me really curious as to what's going to happen with Season 3. Now, I've already talked about some of Season 3, so we know some of the stuff that's obviously going to go down with Thrawn showing up, who is also getting his own novel, which will be very interesting. I've already pre-ordered that one. But all that being said, it really left me wanting more, which is great. It didn't leave me feeling as disappointed. Are there problems with this season? Yeah, there are. I mean, there's some not as well executed moments in it. Again, the filler episodes, while they kept me entertained, they were notably filler-like episodes. So there were those moments too, and there was a character that felt a little shoehorned in for the sake of being there. So you have that happen. But overall, I really did enjoy this one. I thought it was a really solid season. It was setting up really well for season 3. My expectations are now growing with it, and I'm really starting. I say really a lot, but I'm starting to like these characters more, quite a bit more so than I did in season 1. And this, honestly, season 1 felt like they were trying too hard to kind of pull off the same feel of the original trilogy. And I get it, the original trilogy is great, but you can't try to force, again, pun, you can't try to force that on the people. If it works, it works, but you gotta let it flow naturally. And I think even though it got off to a slow start, I think season 2 did so. So giving it a rating of 1 through 10, I'm actually going to go 8.5 out of 10. But that being said, again, I know I'm late to the game. Some of y'all probably saw it. Maybe some of you didn't. If you didn't see it, go check out. First, check out Clone Wars if you haven't, and make sure that you watch them in the correct order. Because the episodes were not aired properly when they were on Cartoon Network. So for those of y'all that would be confused, and I can provide a link if you need it. Secondly, I recommend going and watching season 1 and season 2 of Rebels. I'm not sure how many more seasons we're going to get of this, we're with the rebellion and everything, with how many years before A New Hope it is. It's winding down. I don't know how much more we're going to get, and I don't know what's going to happen to the characters, so should be interesting. But yeah, go ahead and let me know in the comments below. Hopefully you enjoyed this vid. Click that like button and share, subscribe to my channel, and watch my other vids. I do appreciate it. One final thing. I will be doing another Star Wars profile. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the Ventress one. I'm looking at a character from Rogue One, so I will delve into his past for some of y'all that don't know about his character, and we'll get him more into it. So I'm gonna be working on that along with everything else that I have planned. So it should keep me pretty busy. But like I said, hopefully you enjoyed it, and until next time, peace.